So that's why you don't like specifically autobiographical.
Well, you know, I've always just felt that autobiographical songwriting, it just seemed like a very, very tiny, tiny bit of what a song could do, you know? I think a lot of people like that's what they think to do. But for me, it's like, it's sort of like, if I were just sitting there trying to say what I'm sad about and what I'm scared about and what Will Sheff thinks about this and what Will Sheff thinks about that, it's sort of like, well, who cares really? I mean, I'm not different than anybody else significantly, and so, everyone's the same.
But that is maybe good, because if you are, well, you are just like every other person, and maybe if you write something from your personal point of view, people can relate because they feel the same. Right?
It's true. But you know, I guess I try to get that same effect by trying to remove myself from it, or have myself not be the man behind the curtain, so to speak.
So it's maybe for you is little miniature movies, but then in your head.
Yeah, well, for me, I always have enjoyed, and I think this comes from old traditional songs where, you know, when you'd hear Doc Boggs singing or Skip James singing or something, there was a sense that, like, well, maybe less so with Skip James, but definitely with a lot of white old-time music, like old country music and stuff, there was a sense that the people who were singing, they were singing songs that were not about them. They weren't talking specifically about themselves. They were singing a traditional song about a person, and the voice very strongly came through. Now that's not so much true, I guess, in early blues stuff, but or in blues stuff there's a bit more of the personal quality. But I always was very charmed by that, and also I've continued to really want a strong voice in what I'm doing, a sense that there's a character who owns the song and who gets to speak in the song, and I'm not going to pipe in and give my 2 cents. I'm going to let the character, you know, justify themselves. So that's kind of what I'm looking for in a song, is somebody other than myself who is more interesting in the final analysis than myself to you know, get to tell this story.
Well, you've said recently in an interview that well, your previous work has some sort of old feeling to it, so you wanted this record to be more of a modern album. Mm-hmm. When did you find out that you had this old? Because now you're talking about old blues songs, and so when did you find out that maybe your previous albums were a bit, well, they have this old atmosphere?
Well, you know, I guess originally I wanted there to be an old-fashioned way to the way that we were doing things, to the spirit of what we were doing. But I never wanted to have the trappings of the old-fashioned. Like, I always thought it was really bad when contemporary people would sing about, like, moonshine or, like, hopping a train or something like that. It was just sort of like, that has nothing to do with now, and it's not, there's nothing about that you would learn about your life from. So that was never interesting to me, but there was always this sense that sound traveling from an acoustic instrument through the air into your ear was something special, or that the directness, the way those old guys would sing to you, there was something very live about it. So that was what was my kind of inspiration at first. But, you know, I never held back from talking about TV or riding on a plane or anything like that. But specifically on the stage names, I knew that I wanted there to be, you know, a rock and roll contemporary record about real life, but a kind of a stylized real life where these things are appearing as like actors and props instead of real people and real things.